Hello everyone, I'm Jocelyn and I will be conducting the craft each night for the teen class. The VBS team knew that this group had outgrown kiddie crafts, so they decided to provide you with skills and habits that will benefit you now as well as in the future instead. If you got a kit, you should have received a blank white journal. This is where you will be completing our crafts each night. Right now, I am decorating the cover. Mine is very minimal, but do whatever you want with it. A big reason why the VBS team chose white journals was to allow your creativity to roam free. Make it your own. Now, if you did not get a supply kit, that's okay. You can still do the crafts every night. You can use anything from a composition notebook to plain copy paper. Aside from your journal, I recommend that you use a pencil to sketch out your designs before going over them with pen or marker if you choose to do so. Also, a ruler may come in handy. You will not see me using one because I want to show that you don't have to have one to get nice results, but if you are a bit of a perfectionist, a ruler will be a handy tool to use. Throughout the week, I will display quite plain templates for you to either copy or morph into something more fitting for you. Please feel free to add as much or as little color to each page as you wish. Change the sections to what makes the most sense to you. This week is mainly meant to give you the basic inspiration for you to develop out further. Tonight's page is sermon notes. These are the notes you take during any biblical lesson. I have two setups for tonight. On this first page, I'm just using a pen to break the page up into 9 sections. Sermon notes allow you to keep track of all the thoughts you have and things you hear that resonate with you during a lesson. By writing them down, you will be able to refer to them on a later date, as well as compare how different teachers interpret the same passage. The 9 sections on this page are titled Speaker, Date, Passage, Main Message, I Want to Remember, Important Words, Questions I Have, Things to Pray About, and How Does This Apply to My Life? This may seem like a lot, but most of these are pretty self-explanatory, and by using this setup, you can easily break up your jumble of notes into categories you'll understand when you look back on them at a later date. The main message is the points the speaker makes during the lesson and a few notes explaining it further. I Want to Remember is composed of quotes or phrases from the speaker that you really liked. Important words are just how they sound, words from the lesson that are crucial to the explanation. Questions I have are concerns and or wonders you want to research yourself afterwards for better understanding. Things to pray about and how does this apply to my life refer to the ways you can incorporate what you've learned into your daily life.
Let's go. Come on. Whether asleep or awake, there is no mistake. My God is in the midst. Fear just can't exist. That's right. With Jesus, I can't miss. With Jesus, let's go. Every step I take, every move I make, whether asleep or awake, let's go. There is no mistake. My God is in the
This next page is similar to the first one, but is also very different in the setup. I wanted this to be more freeing and have less constraints on what and how much you can write on the page. This layout is much less boxy because I left space in between the sections, and in the top left, I drew lines instead of making a box, which is a good choice for more variety. Another difference in this page is that I include minimal color. I highlight the space where the titles for each section will be, then write the titles over top. If using this method to add color to your page, please remember to use the highlighter first, because if you do it the opposite way, you'll get lots of smudging on your page. A lot of times people won't take notes because they feel like they have to fill up the entire page, but that is not the case. The whole point of taking notes is to make sure you remember something important, and it's really crucial to take notes during a lesson for a multitude of reasons. For one, when you write something down, you retain the message better than just hearing it one time. Another thing is that a lot of people, especially teens, tend to daydream and let their thoughts wander at church. By making yourself take notes during the sermon, you are forcing yourself to pay attention, and in a lot of cases, stay awake. The sections for this page are date, I am grateful for, I am praying for, scripture, observations, application, and prayer for response. The first 2 sections are to be filled in either before the lesson begins or in the very beginning. For example, the I am praying for section can be filled with people's names, things you want to happen, situations you hope will change, or a combination of all before the lesson begins. The difference between observations, applications, and prayerful response is that the observations are things you hear throughout the lesson that resonate with you. Application is how it applies to you personally in your own life, and prayerful response is what you can do to make a change in your lifestyle or community. For those of you that sit in the teen church Zoom meetings on Sunday mornings, you know that our leaders have been wanting us to take sermon notes. Now you at least have an outline on how to take them and a better understanding as to why they are so crucial to the understanding of the word. That's it for tonight's craft. You will be able to use these sermon note techniques during VBS and beyond. I'll see you all tomorrow with tips for the next page in your journal.
Come on.